Welcome to the Palm Bay video series on Cities Skylines. And the origins of Palm Bay begin in the 1850s with the founding of Hjellum Village, a little small Norwegian settlement. Around this time, there were several other communities. Hjellum Village, Bodega, Salmon Creek, and Perkins Lumber Company, which is a small township. Now, first I'm going to lay out the grid for Hjellum Village. And it originally was built on a small beach. Now, I'm just using the Move It mod to lower the road a little bit. As you can see here, it's when I first started using fraps on this video footage, it was going smoothly, but as you'll see later, it wasn't cooperating fully. Now, Hjellum Village was a small, let's say it would be about 4x4 grid, and it was originally just a small fishing village. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, maybe a 4x5 grid. As you can see here, it goes a little something like this. I start making my road networks and then finding where every little grid, getting the grid a little more organized than other attempts. Now, this would be my 5th attempt at doing this city. And originally it grew, it started here, but eventually, with the advent of the railroad going through town and other factors, with the city growing to within the 500,000 population range. Now, as you can see here, it's a little mix to get these roads set up properly. I've got to take out the old roads and then use the forest ground to rebuild the road. And then we're going to start putting in some trying to electricity, trying to figure out utilities. So now this is the growing of Main Street here. Now Main Street, kind of a little ways to the main highway. Now this main highway is kind of rudimentary at this point. Ultimately, the final highway is not going to look like that once I get further on in the production of this series. And of course, the road grid is going to look a lot different in the future. I'm just kind of setting up the facilities, getting the grid set up, and trying to get the city growing. Now, in this footage that I took yesterday, it didn't cooperate fully. I had to spend some time trying to figure out why my population wasn't growing. And here I'm just trying to electrical utilities and electrical properties to get the city at least functional. So I came out with this, what was that, the Tesla building, I think. And again, the water system in here from that street to Main Street, and then going along Main Street all the way around the grid. And I believe Fraps was having some issues with keeping up with the GPU. Now I'm using a HP Omen 800 watt computer to do this, so it's a little outdated, but I'm hoping with time eventually I'll get a new computer and I'll run the game a little more smoothly. inlet for water, my intake. Trying to figure out, okay, actually, no, was that my outflow? I'm just trying to figure out what will work without using a lot of pollution or creating a lot of pollution and getting the game functional. Because ultimately, this is going to be a big city. It's going to wrap around the entire bay, as you saw at the map. And the map is based on Bodega Bay in California. The origins of this Palm Bay idea grew from when I was growing up in Davis, California, and I lived on a street called Palm Place. And looking at it, I always kind of imagined, a big city going around this bay, kind of like a city, like a metropolis. And eventually Palm Bay will become that. So now I'm putting in a hospital. I'm just trying to use vanilla tools and vanilla stuff to get my city going. So when you're putting in a hospital, I realized you don't want to have everything close up. The hospital can be a little ways away. And I'm looking, okay, what else can I do to make this work better? So I'm going through the list of assets that I have, and I ultimately decided, no, that won't work. So I'm going to move on to the fire station, and I just used a firehouse for this little village. It doesn't need that many services right off the bat. So, okay, I got my police station, I got my firehouse, I've got my hospital, I've got my treatment plant, I've got my outtake, I've my electrical grid going, and just trying to get the map going. So when I first started the city, I'm going to note, because I'm going to have just this little 15-minute clip here, and this is going to be a kind of a rudimentary explanation of the city. And when I first did this, I completely did it wrong, and I didn't have all my money to have, and I didn't fine-tune everything. The next video will be a little bit different and have a different grid update. The city will have progressed to the point where the rail network began to form. And I don't know how much more time I've got left. Okay, well, I've got the clip is 15 minutes, so I'm now just putting in the district here, and just going through. Okay, so Hjellum Village, and it took me a minute because some of the mods weren't cooperating. The game wasn't functioning properly, because I got the game running, I've got background programs running, I've got fraps running. So I'm using the as you can see here, the district's late 19th, early 20th century district style, and then I'm just getting all my policies going. So water usage, smoker recycling, no parks yet, because it's a small little village, so there aren't going to be parks. And I realized the harsh prison sentences really was negative for my city, as well as the only electric for heat. Citizens weren't coming. And then, of course, I made some goofs when I was trying to get the city running, but I wanted it to be reflective of the style of, early 19th or late 19th century, early 20th century rise of American cities. Now, I did a little digging into the history of Bodega Bay, and there were some Russian influence, some Spanish influence, but ultimately Bodega Bay kind of remains a small community today. Just a little side note for you. And now you see I put NIMBY, Old Town, Lightning, Fast Recovery. Those you really don't need to have NIMBY or Old Town. I just want the population up and running. But I revisit this spot. Hjellum Village will have actually moved because as time grew by, Hjellum City became downtown Palm Bay. So the city kind of grew around the village. But ultimately, you're going to see here, I'm just getting the district going, and getting the city going, and it wasn't really an early success for me at this time, but it will be, because I think the ultimate mod. Try saying that 5 times fast. I think that I must have had an issue with getting the city population running. So you'll see right now it's just flat 0. But now what am I doing here? I'm just trying to see what else I can do to make the city. So I'm gonna put a little fishing pier, a pair of them. So one will be at the foot of what will become 2nd Street, Old 2nd Street, and Old 3rd Street. So you've got Main Street, Front Street, and then all these little alleys. I'm not going to really bother with changing the names, but eventually I will at some point. And I'm trying to use different assets and trying to get the city looking different. And I'm just realizing, okay, this won't work, that won't work. The city's not ready for that yet. Going through all the different categories here. I'm actually excited because Cities Skylines came out with the new DLCs, which I did purchase and download. So that will be coming in the future videos of this series. Oh, what up here? Just trying to get the city going, and I press play. And here we go. We got the first commercial districts, industrial zones going in. The houses, and I spent like the whole day yesterday wondering, scratching my head, why am I getting all these houses coming in and then they're gone? Coming in and they're gone. Because I had some issues with the population coming in from the outside. So I get the gun. And it's going. Look at that. Just beautiful. Nice little city going in. Nice little hamlet, I guess you would say. And we're getting there. I tried getting the Stream It mod, but I couldn't figure it, so I eventually uninstalled it. Or unwrapped it. And you see the houses are going in and then they're going out. I spent several hours to figure out how to get working. And then I installed a date changer because this app that I'm starting out with, it starts in 1869 and goes on till present day. Which is what I wanted. I wanted to showcase a little 200-year history of the city, from the advent of originally there was an electric railway that went from Palm Bay to Petaluma in the early 1900s, and then through several mergers later it became a national carrier, and that's a part of another fictional city building I'm working on in other games. But that's part of my overall here is Palm Bay is really a railroad town, even though the railroad has kind of left it on the back burner in many ways. But just spending a little time watching the city grow and trying to figure out what's going on. But ultimately, now I'm just saving the game because I want to get this going, and then I'm trying to look at all the. Okay, so all these are all my mods here, with the exception of Stream It. I got rid of that one because I just couldn't figure out how to work it. But I'm just trying to figure out why am I not getting population? And I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I change different gameplay aspects and trying to figure out what's going on here. Some mods I really don't use. Even though I download them, it's like, I'll try it out. And then I don't. But I'm trying to get this. I'm just like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. And well, I'm getting there. I'm getting close to, trying to pause this. Trying to get everything set up. That way I can move on with actually building the city and growing the city. Because eventually there's going to be several universities and whatnot. Well, anyways, thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. There will be more Palm Bay history series videos coming out in the future. And, well, maybe I'll branch out to other cities in the future, but this is just beginning of the Palm Bay history series. And that's it.